Hello there everyone. In today's video I shall be doing a character overview on Chosokabe Motochika. This guy's definitely one of the top tiers of the game. He's the way how I describe him is that he's good at everything, with his weaknesses being minor at best. Yeah, he's really good. He's really good. So let's go over it. So he has the best mobility in the game, straight up. So first of all, he's unique in the fact that he has two air dashes instead of one, as you can see here. Yeah. And he also has this other move that we'll talk about later, which further increases his mobility. He also has very big buttons. A jump B is a good standout. He also has a 5C, 2B. Yeah, just a lot of good fuck-off folks, especially jumping B. I mean, look at this. Jump C does not hit behind him as you think it would. Yeah, he has a pretty good set of normals. Oh, 5B. This move is very disjointed. It really makes it look like you're not hitting the opponent sometimes. Oh yeah, right, his aerial attack, another big one, as you can see there. Fun fact about his blowback attack, it can actually hit behind him. Yeah, it's sort of quirky like that. Now that we've gone over his pretty big buttons right here. Yeah, pretty big. Let's talk about some of his special moves. So, sorry, let me just get a drink of water. So, he only really has two special moves, but he still is one of the more complicated characters in the game, if that makes sense. So he has 236A. This is basically a very good sniping tool. Yeah, this is Ouichi's nightmare when she's in Shadow Hand mode. So yeah, it reaches a full screen. It has a pretty noticeable dead zone right in front of it, actually. And when you hit the opponent, you can hold one of three directions, 8, 6, or 4, to influence where they go. So that was me holding 8, here's me holding 6, and here's me holding 4. This is the one you'll be using the most, as you can see there. Now, let's talk about his other special move, his 623X series. So, he has 623A, 623B, 421A, and 421B. And these are all air OK. And he can even do them after his air dashes, so you get something like this. Whoops. Yeah, like that. Yeah, his mobility is absolutely nuts. Now then, out of any of these dashes, he can do one of three follow-ups. So, by pressing the A button during any of them, he stops, like that. And by pressing the B button, he does that sort of spin kick move, which is very special, as we'll soon discuss. And the C follow-up is this diving overhead attack. Pretty fast, all things considered. Doubt you could react to that. Now then, as I've said, he's good at everything with no noticeable weaknesses, right? Not only does he have the best mobility and giant buttons, and another very good thing that we'll later discuss, he also has a very, very good combo game. All of his combos do high damage, leave the opponent in the corner, or very close to it, and yeah, they just look really cool. Let me show you an example of that, because it's actually... let's talk about it. So, let's discuss 623XB. Look, this move right here. Now then, special thing about this move is, remember the super double jump cancels? Remember that? Well, he can do that from this move. At any time, at any height, yeah, any version of it, you can do a super double jump cancel. And if he's high enough in the air, he can't do this while immediately off the ground, he could do an air dash or a double jump. Now then, the thing about this move is that if you do a... Oh, whoops. Oh yeah, you can hold a 236 A, but that probably isn't going to see much use. Anyway, yeah. So, if you super double jump cancel 623AB, you can and press the C button immediately after, as you saw there. You significantly reduce the recovery. This is Motochika's main combo game. 28C after 623XB. Yeah, again, here's it again. Yeah, notice how the recovery was significantly lessened right there. Now, let me show you a video clip. Okay, so here I am with an old Japanese video. Now then, you're probably wondering why my channel is named the Summer Loop Society. Well, that is because it is named after Motochika's main combo, the Summer Loop, as it's called. At least that's what Google Translate calls it. Anyway, let's see the clip right here. Let me just turn down the volume, and here we go. So yeah, he's repeatedly canceling the recovery of 623XB. And as you can sort of tell right here, if you squint hard enough, this is doing pretty decent damage, all things considered. Yeah, and he could get this from any hit, from any of his giant-ass buttons, and they also have very good corner carry. The mid-screen variations, yeah, they carry the opponent almost all the way to the corner. He can almost corner-to-corner you. Not quite, but almost. And yeah, yet another very good aspect about Motochika. Yeah, this character is just very, very good at everything. My goodness, we haven't even gotten to the mechs yet. So, before we talk about Motochika's mechs, we must talk about his main mechanic, Yen. So let's set personal gauge to normal. So, see this 1000 right here? So this is his Yen right here. He gets Yen by hitting the opponent with certain moves. 5C is one of them. Oh hey, 623XB is one of them, as a matter of fact. Oh yes, every couple of seconds, this parrot will show up, and when it does, it will drop a box that contains Yen. And the opponent can hit the parrot to make the box not appear, and there's also some other mechanics with it, like the more you hit the opponent, the more Yen you get out of your moves. You can see the Dust Loop Wiki, it's sort of complicated, but yeah, you beat up the opponent, you get Yen. That's the short and simple of it. Now then, this also interacts with the fact how his reinforcements are very different from everyone else. So, when he does call his reinforcements, by pressing the E button, yeah, it actually doesn't do anything. See, yeah, they're here, they're not doing anything. Now then, how this works is that you need to have enough Yen to spend on a mech, and that way you can do a certain command to make your pirate buddies over there build a mech. So, for example, notice how this icon has lighted up. I now have enough money to pay these guys to build the level 1 mech. Motochika has 3 different mechs. This one right over here, I think his name is Nogihumura, if I'm not mistaken. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Anyway, yeah, this fella, I think, requires only like 2,000 yen or something like that, and you have to have at least like level 1 reinforcements. So yeah, how you summon the mechs is that you press the light, any attack button, plus the reinforcement button, and whatever attack button corresponds to each mech. So let me just take myself level 100. So, now let me set my yen to 100, infinity. So I have 3 different mechs here. This one is Moki. For the longest time, the Dust Loop Wiki, these 2 guys' names were mixed up. So I'm pretty sure this one is Moki. He requires level 50 reinforcements, at least, and 5,000 yen, if I'm not mistaken. And this fellow right over here is Meki. He requires level 100 reinforcements and 9,999 yen. He's by far the most expensive. And by pressing the light button plus the reinforcement, you get Nogihumura. By pressing a B and the reinforcement, you get Moki, and by pressing C and the reinforcement button, you get Meki. So, let's talk about it. So, here I am. I'm going to summon Nogihumura. So yeah, I did that animation. I would have spent the yen here. Now these guys are going to build it. Some interesting things about the summon. You can hold the attack buttons. It spends more gold, but the mechs have more health. Another thing about it. Normally you can't special cancel into it. However, you are able to Kara cancel into it. Let me just show you an example of me doing that successfully. So yeah, there's me Kara canceling into a mech summon, as you can see there. So effectively, you can sort of special cancel into it. So let's go over all of the individual mechs, because they all do have different attacks, and they all have their own reasons for you wanting to pick them. Except for Meki, in my opinion, he's pretty bad. So anyway, let's go over Nogihumura right here. So let's just speed this up right here. Oh yeah, they take a while. Alright, so here's Nogihumura. Now, this is when your reinforcement attacks actually start to do something. So by pressing 5E, you get this attack, and by pressing twice, he does 2 hand slaps. You press forward, he does this rushing attack, and it's the same if you hold back. If you press 2E, he does these 2 slaps. Those are mostly used in infinites. Oh yeah, he's also very good at converting into infinites. Because why not? Yeah. So this one, its infinites are more consistent, but its neutral ability isn't as good. And another thing that has going for it is that it's very cheap. only requiring level 1 reinforcements and 2,000 yen, which you could probably get in like 1, maybe 2 Summer Loop combos. Most likely 1. Yeah, this is a pretty good mech in my opinion. Probably the middle of the pack in terms of that's concerned. Oh, and another thing with all the mechs, you can press 2-2E to detonate them. It returns all yen spent to yourself. And in case if you're wondering, yes, the mechs can be destroyed by the opponent if they hit them enough. So you could self-destruct to get back your yen before they're fully destroyed, because if the opponent destroys them, you don't get your money back. Okay, so here we have Moki, the mech that requires level 50 reinforcements. This is, in my opinion, the best of his 3 mechs. It has a reasonable amount of price and reinforcement level, and it's just really good. For one thing, this mech and Meki as well can be moved separately from him. And you can hold 1 or 3 to move it separately from Motochika, sort of like how you would move Eddie if you're playing as Zato from Guilty Gear. So yeah, it's similar in that sense. Now let's go over some of this guy's attacks. So if you press 5E, you get these arrows. Very good for neutral, as you would imagine. And if you hold forward or backwards E, you get this lunging attack. This is probably this attack is very, very good. And pressing 2E does this sickle slash. And for some reason, at level 50, this move does more hits. So yeah, as you saw there, but at level 100, it becomes subtly worse. It does less damage and it doesn't do as many hits. And for the love of all that is holy, I do not know why. Now let's talk about something else about his mechs. So, as he wakes up, you know, like if you knock down from attack over here, you can hold back to block, right? And also do a mech attack at the same time. This offers Motochika unusually good defense, all things considered. And yeah, this one can be hit as well. Yeah, and all the mechs have more health than the previous one. For example, I think all of that would have killed Nogi Humura, but not Moki. Yeah, he's more durable than that. Anyway, let's go over Meki. Okay then, so here we have Meki. As you can see here, he's absolutely, completely gigantic. Whenever I show people Motochika and his mechs, they're always like, why is it so big? Yeah, they're always surprised, and it's funny every time. So, this absolute beast is probably the worst mech. Yeah, even worse than the level 1 one. Because, it's incredibly big, as you can see here, but the thing is it's also very slow. A lot of its attacks have these very egregious dead zones. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Here's 2E. That also has some dead zones, and if they don't have egregious dead zones, they take an eternity and a half to do. So, for example, here's what it looks like right here. However, at the same time, there is some value in it due to the fact that, well, it has the most amount of health out of all the mechs. And, the best strategy with this thing that I noticed is to just have it in the back and spew these flames every now and then, like this here. And, oh yeah, another thing. In case if you're wondering, yes, Motochika is also able to reinforcement cancel, and he cannot do his reinforcement burst unless he has the mechs out. So let me just have Motonari attack me here. Okay, so now I'm just gonna... So yeah, look at that. Sort of strange looking, but you get the idea, it's pretty much the same. Now let's talk about his supers and how they are pretty interesting. So we have 236, 236C. He slams the ground and summons this thing right here. And if the opponent steps on it, they get trapped up in a net. Yes, this is a very iconic move for him in the mainline games, and this move, it's pretty alright. It's mostly used in Infinites with Nogi Humura, and if you hold the button, he jumps further and the net captures the opponent for a longer amount of time. Now, let's talk about his 2-on-4, 2-on-4C super, because it's pretty interesting. Now, this thing is a frame 1 startup. Yes, frame 1 startup. It's only -2 on block. And another thing about it is that after you do the attack, you can hold the button to do this, charge up this punch right here. Here's what it looks like. Anyway, another thing is that there's a just frame version. If you release it at just the right time, as you saw earlier, it'll hit 4 times instead of 2. So let's see if I can do it again. Yeah, like that, see? Oh yeah, and you get yen from this move as well. This move sees a lot of use in Infinites. And another thing, that I often see the Japanese players use this as a reversal, but the thing is, it's not invincible. The 1 frame startup is not invincible, but at the same time, it is 1 frame startup, and it hits... Another strange thing about this move is that Despite the fact that it hits 0 frames after the Super Flash, the opponent is still able to block it even if they weren't holding back before, as you saw there. And it comes out as a just defense. I don't know if this is a weird Sengoku Basara X specific thing, but yeah, that's the case. So yeah, that's Motochika. He's just good at everything. He does good damage, his buttons are big, his mobility is incredible, and he's also a puppet character. He has to be one of the best puppet characters I've seen, because he's well above average, even without his incredibly good puppet. So yeah, that's Motochika. The next video we'll be talking about Oda Nobunaga. Here's Basara over here. Pretty neat, I guess. Anyway, yeah, next video, Oda Nobunaga. Very interesting, yet another very interesting character. See you next time, bye.